IC. Richard Cross in for Paul Gallo this morning. A reminder to get out and vote today. If you don't vote, you don't have a voice, so make your voice heard. Vote in the upcoming primary elections that are happening. No, they're not upcoming. They are now, today. Make plans to vote. And don't forget to bring your photo ID. We are joined right now by Ricky Mathews of the Ricky Mathews Show, a longtime Coast resident. Not your first election day. How are you, Ricky? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, Chris. How you doing, my friend?
Everything's good. Everything is good. So I was kind of laying out a second ago when you think about areas to watch, especially in the lieutenant governor's race. I think DeSoto County is really important. Obviously, the Jackson metro area, particularly Madison County, Rankin County in this election, and then the coast. And I just think about those population centers and how there's some really important things to watch out of those three areas in particular, but not just because of the population centers, also because some local races that are happening in those areas.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I actually think that the lieutenant governor's race is not as close as some would want you to believe. I think Delbert's going to do better. And I can give you a litany of reasons why I think that. But here on the coast, I think it's really important for Coastians. And I've made this. I don't typically get involved in politics. Certainly, as a publisher for 16 years of my career, with responsibilities for newspapers across 5 states, certainly that's something I did. But on my show, the Ricky Mathews Show, typically don't. But in this case, I did because I felt strongly that Delbert has proven himself as a leader, and that Chris McDaniels is not the right leader for Mississippi. He's not the right leader at all, as from where I'm sitting, as it relates to coastal Mississippi. After Hurricane Katrina, and when he ran against Thad Cochran, who we all know was the appropriations chairman and played such an incredibly important role in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, Chris McDaniel said that he'll have to see the details of it. I really would. This is not an easy vote for me to cast. That's what he said to a Politico reporter. And we actually wrote an editorial about it when I was over as the publisher of the TimesPicayunola.com. And we said that the cluelessness of some people in public life when it comes to something like Katrina, not really appreciating the role that government played in helping us recover from the largest natural disaster in American history. And I think most Mississippians, especially coastal Mississippians, hear words like that. He later went on to say that, yeah, he would have voted for it. But the truth is, we saw what he was really thinking. And the truth is that often he gets caught up in his talk. He talks a lot, and he's a good talker. But when you get beneath the surface of understanding deeply what it took for us to recover after Hurricane Katrina, the way we came together, it was an incredibly bipartisan effort. It made a huge statement. And, when you think about things like that and then think about the role that Delbert's played as a leader, I think most coastal Mississippians get that. I think he'll perform better here in coastal Mississippi than most think.
I'm always fascinated, Ricky, when I talk to you or other people who are from the coast or have ties to the coast, how we're almost, 20 years later, and yet so much of day-to-day life is still shaped by Hurricane Katrina.
It is. And, it's interesting. When I retired in 2016, I had the opportunity to retire young. And, I was planning not to work again. And I had the opportunity to come to work for SuperTalk. The one thing that I never realized is how much I enjoyed connecting. And so we've had over 900 conversations in over 3 years. And Chris, it's amazing, man. The conversations always come back to Richard, I'm sorry. Always come back to this reality that, this pre-Katrina and post-Katrina. And, redefined us. I had the opportunity to write the foreword to Haley's book, America's Great Storm, leading through Hurricane Katrina. And, that book, man, everyone should read it. Everyone should read that book because it is a statement. It is one of the most substantial recovery efforts in the history of the United States, the way that we came together and rebuilt our infrastructure and tried to make this community more resilient, where the heart and soul of Mississippians came out. It defined us. I mean, it was the worst natural disaster in American history. And the day after, we all looked around and said, holy mackerel, how are we going to get ourselves out of this mess, man? I mean, it was unbelievable. My family and I were nearly killed.
Right?
Yeah, my gosh. I mean, I left the day after Katrina, and I didn't come home for 9 months. I mean, it was, we all did that. It was just, and it has a way of helping you understand the importance of leadership. And I focus a lot on leadership because Chris has showed no leadership in the Senate. I mean, none. He's authored 3 bills that passed, and what the 3 bills are. They don't mean anything. He doesn't have a reputation for leading. He doesn't have a reputation for working hard. I've seen in the depths of my soul what it means to have to work hard, what it has to dig deep and help a community restore itself and renew itself. And a lot of coastal Mississippians have seen that as well. They had the same thought about that I do.
What's the turnout going to be like on the coast today?
I think it's going to be strong. I think it's going to be strong because we have a contested sheriff's race, 2 great candidates, incidentally. We have a lot of people sort of locked onto the Board of Supervisors. There needs to be change on the Board of Supervisors. Connie Rocco is not running for re-election. Beverly Martin has a contested race. Others have contested races. And I think people are energized about that. I think because of that, especially in Harrison County, but certainly I think this is true along the coast. It's going to be pretty good turnout.
Is the sheriff's race in Harrison County going to drive numbers as well?
I think so. I mean, they have spent an incredible amount of money. I mean, they have, again, 2 good candidates. I guess it depends on what you want to see in the sheriff, but they're both good candidates. But the reality is, though, there's been a lot of money spent, and I think coastal Mississippians, especially in Harrison County, are going to come out. And I think the more people who vote, and you started this segment by talking about how important it is to vote. Man, this is a chance for our voice to be heard. And too many registered voters don't vote. And I hope that a lot of people who typically don't vote are having sort of a change of heart about this and understanding the state, the communities need you. Every vote counts. So I think a strong voter turnout, whether it's here on the coast or across the state, I think plays in the Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hoseman's favor.
Ricky, a couple minutes left. I'm curious if beyond the LG race, there's another race at the statewide level that intrigues you.
Not really. I think I wish
that is
we
certainly
were
the headline grabber, though.
Yeah, it's the headline. I wish we were talking more. I wish we had a bigger, better debate about the insurance commissioner's race. I don't think that the challenger for Mike Chaney is significant. But man, I tell you what, there's an insurance crisis developing in coastal Mississippi, and we should be having more of a conversation about that. But unfortunately, all the air has been taken out of the room in the lieutenant governor's race.
Yeah. As it pertains to that, and I ask you this because you're local, because what I've heard is anecdotal, but there are people that are leaving coastal Mississippi simply because of the cost of insurance premiums and their ability to be insured. Is that more than just anecdotal? Is that happening?
It's interesting. I think, some people may, but then there are a lot of people who are relocating here. My son is a real estate lawyer, and they do tons of closings that are cash closing. So there are a lot of people moving to this area because the quality of life is so significant. But man, the new FEMA 2.0 insurance program is a really onerous program for coastal Mississippi. I'm going to have a lot more conversations about that, and we're seeing carriers increase their rates for comprehensive coverage of homeowner insurance, and some that are dropping out. It is a major issue. And we better get focused on it as a nation. This is not just affecting coastal Mississippi. It's affecting the nation.
Ricky, always good to catch up. Thanks so much for your time on Election Day, the 8th of August, Tuesday across the Magnolia State. Hope everybody will get out and vote. We'll catch up soon, my friend.
Thank you, buddy. You're doing a great job.